important. I genuinely do think that Gabby wants control. So I do think it's less about Dwayne Wade not wanting to, and more about about why she chose that arrangement in that instance. That's fair then. Okay. Yeah, I know you guys are. I know you guys are not looking at it that way. I'm talking about the audience. I'm talking about the audience who commented rather, right? You know. KSO, why would he allow her to speak to the point where it's public though? Because she has more control. Hasn't she done most of the speaking anyway? Even when he cheated, who was doing the speaking? Was it not her? Gabby will do what Gabby wants to do, man. Gabby will do what Gabby wants to do. You know what I mean? Jen Ogechi said, my mom has to look after her parents, 8 siblings, and all her kids back home. It'll be strange for her to ask my dad to cover that, in my opinion. I hear that, and I guess it depends on the financial income of each individual person. Again, if I make 100 million and you make only 10 million, that's a big difference, right? It's a huge difference. And of course, again, but it depends again, what are the expenditures that go along with that? I think we also need to be aware of those things before we jump in. And I hear what you're saying, Jen, as well. So it's all about what are the expenditures? What are the expenditures of these things that are coming out? And then we can make a deduction about that as well. Yeah, so that's a big thing. So it's all about, first of all, most expenditures as well. And so it's all about that, Yeah, you already know, Trey. It's she wants to be free. That one wants to be free. That one wants to be free. Yeah, I think there's something about her control. Okay, so his net income is still 4 times hers. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Again, it depends on what his expenditures are, as well, and if she wants him to help, and if they wanted to help as well. So she may not necessarily want him to help, because again, one thing that people need to understand as well about how I see Gabrielle Union is, if you help me, then I owe you, and I don't want to be in a position of owing you. So I'm going to pay my way, so I never owe you. That is something that I've also seen with us as people, when we struggle with allowing people to help us. One of the reasons why some people struggle to help one of the reasons why people struggle to allow people to help them is because if you help me, then you have the opportunity to ask me for a favor in future, right? And then I'm going to feel bad if I don't want to do it, and then I'm going to have to end up doing it even if I don't want to do it. And the reality is, oftentimes that's because you've been taken advantage of, right? You've been taken advantage of, and you know that when people ask you for something, there's often a second thing behind it. Okay, there's something behind, there's something else behind it, right? So it's that particular aspect as well. So and again, when that can be very hard for some people. It can be very hard for some people that they allow someone to help them, and they know that maybe there's some reason why you're asking for them. Maybe you're gonna hold it against me, and I don't want you to be able to hold it against me. I don't want to be in a position where you get to have power over me because you did a favor for me. Like, for instance, paying all the bills. And when you pay all the bills, then you get to say to me, well, I don't want you to work. See, that's the thing that women don't want to understand that too, right? And I have to be very real with you, right? Because some of you are going to say to you, well, I can do whatever I want. Even if he pays all the bills, he can't tell me nothing. The reality is, you're lying. Because the only way you're going to get that to work is if the man himself oftentimes takes a backseat to you. But if he pays all the bills, now let's have a real conversation now. If he pays all the bills, unless he's not a very assertive man, which there very few are. There are men like this. There are. Okay. All right. if he pays all the bills now, he's going to have some level of say, of direction. Now, something about Gabrielle Union tells me she don't like being directed. Okay? She don't like being directed. You ain't gonna tell me where we're gonna go. Okay? You ain't gonna tell me where we gonna go. Okay? Right? So for me, for the situation and looking at it, I can see why this would be the way it is done. Right? Keela said she gonna stay quiet. Keela, Keela, you trouble, man. But no, and so that is why I said that there's an aspect. There's an aspect to this relationship that I do understand where she's coming from because of the trauma, right? If that trauma is there, it's going to be very hard to allow him to pay everything and just do everything, because then what control do I have? Right? What level of control do I get to assert when someone says, well, I pay all the bills, so we're going to go this way? No, but I don't want to, but I paid all the bills. Okay. All right. So we're selling this house and we get another one. Now I hear what you're saying, and I'm taking in what you're saying, and I take what you meaning to say. But when I look at it financially, this is what I'm going to say. Right. So then your voice can be more minimalized. Doesn't mean it's going to be minimalized. Hey, listen, I'm not saying this is absolutely everybody's situation. I'm saying you tend to have less say. Money is power. And I think people pretend as if that's not the case. Right? So sometimes what can happen is that some people are scared of that particular dynamic being in a relationship. Now, that's not necessarily a bad dynamic, because if the person cares about you and loves you, okay, all right, if the person cares about you and loves you, then by all means, trust his direction. But there are some people that are going to come with trauma and they're going to be like, no, I don't want that. Now, here's my thing. I also think as well that there are certain women in this world who that are never going to conform to what women should be like generally, right? I think Gabrielle Union might be one of those people. If you are an advocator, right? If you're a feminist, an advocator for those who are broken and hurt, and that, you're going to live a different life. See, I know, and that's what I'm saying to you. That's why I made a little bit of a exception for Gabrielle Union, because once I found out she's an advocator, you don't live a normal life. Once you start advocating for people, you start fighting. People that fight struggle, because they're always fighting. Okay? They're always fighting, right? So, she's always going to want to have a say, have her way of doing things, want things to be a particular direction, particular way. That's just always going to be her. I don't think that's going to change. Even if she heals from the trauma, I think she'll always be an advocate. And when you start that particular advocation type where you want to defend people, it can be very difficult.